question. Shortbread. No, it's not about food. Listen, Marner almost had a hat trick last night. Nylander almost had a hat trick last night. What would you do if someone got a hat trick?
What would I, celebrate?
Yeah, but would you throw your hat on the ice?
What?
If there was a hat trick, would you, hat guy, throw your hat on the ice?
Well, I wasn't there, so I guess we'll never know.
Hypothetically...
I don't like these games, Steven. Leave my hat alone.
I'm just asking.
I'm just asking you to ask somebody else. I like my hat. Get Tony D'Angelo to throw his.
Hi, kids.
Victorious puppies.
This team is ruining my life.
Why do I watch hockey? Stress relief.
We can, and we will.
Puppies, boys, get fat! Get nice and fat! It's the holidays!
Okay, I'll only give you a second treat if Sheldon Keefe has as many wins in 13 games as Babcock had in 23.
Oh, I guess you get a treat! I guess you get... Oh, Charlie dropped it! You gobble up that rebound, Michael Hutchison!
How's your cut?
It's better.
Leafs win 6-3 over the New York Rangers
in Madison Square Garden.
Yes, the Leafs technically doubled up the Rangers, but that doesn't tell the true story of this game, does it? A true dogfight for almost the full 60 minutes. Rangers fans, you were so hard on yourselves on Twitter last night. I think the Rangers are super fun now. Your rebuild is this weird hybrid of the Leafs rebuild. The frustration you're feeling is the 16-17 season for the Leafs. You're young and you're overachieving what was expected, but you can put the puck in their net, you can't keep it out of yours. But you're also the Leafs of a couple years later when you're signing enormous free agents to $11 million. It's weird, it's wacky, it's very New York, and so was this game. Let's talk about it. Once again, the starts. The Leafs consistently, for 20 plus games, were the worst first 10 minutes team in the entire National Hockey League. They fired Mike Babcock, Sheldon Keefe comes aboard, and while their first 5 is sometimes still shaky, the Leafs are coming up with the first goal of the game more often than not. And not just that, on the road, they're finding themselves jump out to multi-goal leads in the first period alone. This first goal was absurd, and not only should Pierre Engvall never play another game in the American Hockey League, I don't know how you break this lineup. I really don't. And it might be broken up tonight against Detroit. I haven't seen the lineup yet. I don't know how you break it up. It's so good. This whole play starts with Kerfoot and Engvall battling for the same puck in the corner. It squirts loose to Kerfoot. Here's what happened. Kerfoot to Engvall, Engvall to Muzzin, Muzzin to Hall, Hall to Mikheyev, Mikheyev to Hall, Hall to Engvall, goal! Those 6 passes, shot, and a goal take place in 8 seconds. That is called dialed. And the engine of the whole thing, to me, is Justin Hall and Ilya Mikheyev. Muzzin flicks it over to his defense partner, Justin Hall, who passes it to Mikheyev at the point as he's beaming himself forward there. It's a relatively soft pass, and Mikheyev's got lots of room. It's nice and safe, and it's a good thing, too, because if the Rangers find a way to turn it over, it's a 3-on-1 for them. And now Hall is flying towards the net, and this is the Justin Hall all of us saw play in the minors. All of us. When you bring up Justin Hall, you get him to do Justin Hall things. What a concept! You don't get him to do an impression of another player. Most impressionists sound great until they're doing the impression in front of the person they're doing the impression of. For example, me with Mike Babcock. And with Mike Babcock, the thing Justin Hall was doing an impression of was a lampshade! He never got to play! I still say Hall should change his number to 71 for the amount of times Babcock healthy scratched him last season just to turn the knife. He's an unreal player. I knew he was better than getting scratched 71 times. I did not know he was this good. And of course, setting up Pierre Engvall, who's been absolutely fantastic. He's where he needs to be for that play, but to me, it was the responsible risk-taking, if you want to give it that, between Justin Hall and Ilya Mikheyev. Now, in net for the New York Rangers is Alexander Georgiev, who we've been talking about. Maybe he should be a Leaf. He had a pretty terrible game, unfortunately. Not long after, he goes to play the puck into the corner for Mika Zibanejad. It's a terrible pass, or there's bad communication. I don't know what's going on, but Mika did not end up with the puck at all. Kasperi Kapanen throws it on net. It's a low percentage shot, but that's not why he took the shot. Horrible rebound from Georgiev. He did not mean to put the puck there at all, and by there, I mean right onto William Nylander's stick, and he is not gonna miss that. Will Nye, the hockey guy, 2-0. Just like that. Which means the Leafs shut her down. Nope, it's the Leafs. With just under 6 minutes to go in the first period, I don't know if this is luck or just a great play by the Rangers. Brady Shea rings it around the boards for Chris Kreider. Now, Kreider tips it. I don't think he quite meant to tip it the way that he did. Zibanejad comes up with it, and Hull sort of panics and attacks. Now, to me, Zibanejad's not much of a risk to score here. He's on his backhand. Tavares comes in about a second later, and he can break it up. But the thing about split-second decisions is you don't always have time for a little shoulder check. Zibanejad over to Shea, scores, and barely. Now, if that becomes a thing that happens every game, then you rip Justin Hull for it, but to me, that just seemed like a little bit of puck luck and a good play by the Rangers. The next goal, about 3 minutes later, was not puck luck. Tyson, what are you doing? Man, Tyson giveth and Tyson taketh away. That ridiculous setup on the Timashov goal just the game before, and then he does this, and the Rangers tie it 2-2. Save that thought, we'll get to it later. There's something's gotta give here. Second period, and early in the second period. Mitch Marner, partial break, gets hauled down, no call, and I am immediately about to tweet, what do the Leafs gotta do, seriously, to get a call? I was in the car for the first bit of the first period, listening to the game on the radio. This was before this play even happened, and Joe Bowen even said, you know what, I hate to say it, but at some point these guys gotta start going down. The Leafs cannot get a call to save their life! Oh, look, there's two. The Rangers take 2 quick penalties, and all of a sudden, it's the Leafs' I think second 5-on-3 of the season, and they didn't score on the first one. There seemed to be a bit of a different vibe to this one. Maybe that's just me. But is it just me, or was there this air of, yeah, no, we're scoring? And they didn't celebrate at all. None of them. They didn't care. They were sad. They pulled the Marie-Philippe Poulin. I didn't mean to score on you, I'm sorry. Which is still the most Canadian thing that has ever happened in hockey. Win gold medal, apologize. Marner is such a good playmaker that even his passes are goals. Jacob Trouba gives him the easy passing lane to John Tavares, except not so easy because Brady Shea breaks it up. The only problem is he breaks it into his own net. It's Marner's goal, 3-2 Leafs. 5.5 minutes into the second, really unfortunate play. Mark Stahl with the puck at the point, wires it on, and it nails Travis Dermott right in the not fun part of the skate. The skate actually has several not fun parts, and that one might be the least fun. While he's down, Pavel Buchnevich collects the rebound, scores. Now, I get it's a scrambly play and there's a lot going on and it's a rebound. Freddie saw the puck the whole time. He was prepped for that shot, and it just sort of beat him. That's exactly the sort of goal that we would jump all over Michael Hutchison for. Like, oh my god, we just need a save. They're scoring. Can you make a save? They needed a save there. So we head to the third period with the game tied 3-3. And is it just me, Leaf fans, or were you not grateful for this game? I was. Because the theme of Leaf games this season too often has been the Leafs are down early and they spend the whole game trying to get back. Sometimes they do, often they don't. Or, more so under Sheldon Keefe, they get the lead early, they try to hold on to it for the whole game. Sometimes they don't, but they usually do. This was a back and forth slugfest that I think the Leafs have needed to experience for a while. 2 minutes and 10 seconds into the third period, after Panarin has a near breakaway against the Leafs that is stopped, Leafs go the other way with Matthews leading the rush. They cross the blue line, he gives it to Willy, and oh, he just sort of takes a shot that goes through Alexander Georgiev, and the Leafs take the lead. That is a great example of what I was talking about with Michael Hutchison and the Buffalo game. Like, yeah, it's William Nylander. Okay, I get it. He's got a great shot. I get it. You need a save. And don't let this game distract you from the fact that Alexander Georgiev has had a fantastic season up to this point, but you need a save there, yeah. And now, William Nylander on pace for about 61 points and 29 goals. Yes, that is exactly what $7 million, or just a hair under it, gets you in the NHL these days, and for the next 4 years after this one. He doesn't have to be your favorite player. I'm not saying that. He's worth it, though, okay? He's at least worth it. Now, this next goal is domination from Marner, but I don't want this little something to go unnoticed. The Rangers are trying to get the puck out of their own zone. They chip it up to Ryan Strome, who, nope. And the reason he nope is the Jake Muzzin train is arriving right on schedule. And Hyman coming back in support quickly when he realizes what's going on with the play allows Muzzin to take that risk, to take himself out of the play and allow himself to throw a big hit. Now, he didn't have to throw that big hit because Ryan Strome would much rather be a New York Ranger than a pancake. But that resulted in a giveaway to Mitch Marner with great hand-eye coordination, and we've been looking for a dominant takeover performance from Mitch Marner. Is scoring a goal in this situation considered dominant enough? I don't know. I'm just asking. Rips it by Georgiev. Big Selly because he knows it's time to lock it down. Leafs are up 5-3. In the neutral zone, Kerfoot just flips a dribbler that finds its way to Mikheyev. It's ugly, it's slow, it's not going to turn into anything, and oh my god, it's in the back of the net. Because this isn't Vichy Soir, this isn't even gazpacho, because when the puck ends up on soup stick, it's coming in hot! Ilya Mikheyev, I love this guy, makes it 6-3, that's it, that's done. They tried to get Marner and Nylander a hat trick. There was even a 2-on-1 where it was Marner and Nylander together, didn't go in, whatever. 2 points. That's all we want, and we move on to Detroit. I know Ilya Mikheyev went 22 games without scoring a goal, but he still got 21 points in 36 games. That is 2 more than Kasperi Kapanen in the same amount of games. And before you go ripping Kapanen, that means he's still on pace for 41 points. It's just Mikheyev's on pace for 48. Pierre Engvall, by the way, 6 points in 14 games so far. That is a 35-point pace over 82 games. Not bad for a depth player, and he's already got 1 more point than Trevor Moore does in 7 fewer games. Here's the thing though, Trevor Moore hasn't really gotten much of a chance with Sheldon Keefe. I assume Trevor Moore is going to get into the lineup against Detroit. I still don't have that news. I was really bummed to read during the making of this video that Adam Brooks and Martin Marincin were sent to the Marlies. I wanted actually Goat and Timashov to sit against Detroit, not because they've been bad, but just so that Moore and Brooks could get in on the same game. I think it'd be good for the both of them. Because when they won the Calder Cup a couple years ago, the line was Moore, Brooks, and Mason Marchment. Now, you could replace Mason Marchment with either Jason Spezza or, if you're going to go with body type, Freddie the Goat. I also just like seeing guys play their first NHL game. Really, I think the Brooks call-up was A, an emergency, B, the Leafs rewarding one of their guys. And I'm excited to see Moore back in the lineup. I'm excited to see what he can do with Sheldon Keefe's new Leafs, but make no mistake, this guy deserves a chance to lose his job, right? He's got to get his job back, but he is playing for it. Up front, the Leafs have the best conundrum in the world, and that is that they have far too many good players. Questions. Do we still want Georgiev? Listen, he had a bad game against the Leafs. He had a bad game. But even after that bad game, he's still a .915 on the season. He was a .914 last year and a .918 the year before. That's consistent, and those aren't miracle worker numbers. They're just sort of steady. And he's young, at 23 years old. He's got a lot of NHL experience for a 23-year-old goalie, and he might develop into a starter one day. Does that not sound like the perfect candidate for a backup? Yes, I would still like Georgiev if he was available. But the Leafs cap situation complicates things, and if you're the Rangers, you have absolutely no reason to give up Georgiev for nothing. Who do you think will be scratched when Moore is back? I don't think they should send Engvall or Timashov down. They're playing so well. However, a line with Trevor Moore and 2 of them would be fire. Well, no, don't send Timashov down, but he's the logical guy you take out of the lineup. Trevor Moore is a great 4th line player, and I think Timashov has done great in that 4th line role. I just think that Trevor Moore, you know, I was about to say, I think he brings what Babcock wants. That's not the coach anymore. I genuinely don't know what to expect out of Trevor Moore now, but to me, this is a clean slate, fresh start. With Babcock, he was mostly a bang and crash guy. If I'm not mistaken, he led the team in hits. And not to be a Marley snob again, like I am with Engvall a little bit, but anyone who's seen him play at the AHL level knows that he is much more than that. But man, my prospects pyramid video, which was a mess for several reasons, but I barely had Timashov on the periphery of getting a call-up. The fact that this guy is on this team right now, and it's a struggle to take him out of the lineup, is a big credit to him. How's the Christmas shopping going? It's done. It's mercifully done. And now the Christmas wrapping. How bad will the world burn if Hutch doesn't win tonight? Listen, I feel like I've said this a bunch of times, but this is it. This is it. Yeah, it's the second half of a back-to-back. This is the gig, man. It's against the last place team in the NHL. You have to get 2 points here. If you get 1 because of weird circumstances that I guess we'll see tonight, maybe acceptable. But last place team You gotta get 2 points here, man. Well, there's evidence to suggest the Leafs play worse in front of Hutch, and life's not fair. I'm sorry. If they can't do it with him, if he can't stop the pucks, if the team can't play well in front of him, well, we can't trade the whole damn team for the backup goalie, so I guess we have to deal with the backup goalie. But stop talking about Hutch like he's this complete and utter sieve that's never won a game. He has won NHL games before. He won last year with the Leafs. He can do this. There's no reason to assume he cannot do this. Get it, Hutch. Get it. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe. If you really liked it, tell all your friends that Hutch is winning tonight. He is! And whether he does or he doesn't, the title of this book still applies. This team is ruining my life, but I love them. Available anywhere that books are sold. If you're a bad Christmas shopper and you're like, oh crap, I still need to get something for someone, why'd I get them this?